Beyond blood pressure control, Mecardis has been shown to be a very effective hypertensive agent. It's good for systolic, diastolic blood pressure. It's also good for isolated systolic hypertension. And most recently, there's been a global study called OnTarget. OnTarget has been a huge study involving 25,000 people, involving over 40 countries. All ethnic groups are represented. And this study was not about blood pressure control, but was about cardiovascular protection. And patients, in order to get into this study, you had to be over 55. You had to have cardiovascular disease. You've had to have a previous stroke or previous heart attack, or have peripheral artery disease, or have diabetes, but serious diabetes with organ damage, be it your eyes, be it your kidneys. So these people had risk factors, and these people had actually pre-existing disease. So what we did was, in this particular study, I was the investigator in this study. There was 3 arms. One arm was the ramipril arm or the Altace arm. And why did we use ramipril or Altace? Because there's a study done approximately 10 years ago, the HOPE study. And the HOPE study found that if you were on Altace, you had 20% less chance of having a recurrent heart attack or stroke. So Altace was the gold standard for cardiovascular protection. The second arm was telmisartan or Mecardis. So the question was, is Mecardis as good as Altace for cardiovascular protection? And that was the question that they were asking. The third arm was Altace and Mecardis. Was the combination, was it better? So this study went for not a year, not 2 years, but a total of 5.5 years. And the endpoint was whether you had a stroke, whether you had a heart attack, whether you died. So it was very specific. So what they found after this 5.5-year study was that the gold standard, Altace, and Mecardis were just as good in preventing cardiovascular events. And interestingly enough, that the combination arm was no better. So the takeaway message from this is, if you have cardiovascular disease, if you have hypertension, Mecardis offers cardiovascular protection and also offers hypertensive protection.